Hello to everyone and welcome to this video. Today we will consider the list of documents you need to prepare to present at your diversity visa interview. But before we get into that, a reminder concerning DV 2023. To date, we still do not know whether DV 2023 applicants will have to submit required documents to KCC as part of their application process. As most of you already know, the documents procedure was removed from DV 2022 sometime last December, and concerning DV 2023, we are not sure whether that same measure will apply or not. But whether DV 2023 applicants will need to submit documents to KCC or not, the fact remains that they will have to prepare their documents to present at the time of their interview. So just in case you are a DV 2023 applicant watching this video and you have not yet begun the process to acquire your documents, then this is the opportunity to do so, because as I just said, you will need to present them at your diversity visa interview. Now let's go back to the list of documents. There is a long list of documents that concern diversity visa interviews. But what is interesting is that most of the documents on that list do not concern most applicants. And so what I have done is to divide that list into a number of groups to allow you to identify the documents easily. So now let's consider by group the different documents that you have to present at the time of your diversity visa interview. The first group of documents are compulsory documents. Documents that you must provide for each person who is in your case. And that includes a passport, a birth certificate, the DS-260 submission confirmation page, as well as the medical examination result. Yes, you must present these documents for each person who is in your case. Now, concerning the passport of each person in your case must be valid for at least 6 months, counting from your intended date of entry to the United States. It is in the passport of each person that their diversity visa is to be printed. Now, concerning the birth certificate, the long format birth certificate is the format that is acceptable, so avoid getting the short format. Now, when it comes to the DS-260 confirmation page, when you submit the DS-260 for each person in your case, the screen that appears right after submission is the confirmation page. So you have to print that page for each person in your case and take along with you to your diversity visa interview. And finally, concerning the medical examination result, I guess you are already aware that you will have to undergo medical examination before your diversity visa interview. Now, the physician will give you the result of that medical examination for each person in your case sealed up in an envelope. You must take that envelope sealed up as it is to your diversity visa interview. There are cases when the physician sends the medical examination result directly to the embassy, or in that case, the results will be at the embassy when you attend your diversity visa interview. Now, let's move over to the second group of documents. The second group is the largest group, but luckily, the documents in the second group do not concern all of the applicants in your case. Only those that are concerned by these documents are the ones who must present them at the time of the interview. And documents in this second group include military records. Now, that concerns someone who has served or who is currently serving in the military. So if there is any such person in your diversity visa case, you have to present the military records of that person. Next is court records. If anyone in your case has been convicted of a crime, you have to present the court records in relation to that conviction. Next is prison records. If someone in your case has served some prison sentence, you will be required to present the prison records of that person. Likewise, deportation papers. If anyone in your case has been deported from the United States, you have to present deportation papers for that person. Next is marriage certificate. If you are married, then you and your spouse have to provide your marriage certificate. If you have divorced, you have to present your certificate of divorce. Now, if you divorced and remarried, then you have to provide both your certificate of divorce as well as your marriage certificate. Also, adoption papers. If you have any child in your case that you adopted, you have to provide documents to that effect. And in case that child was in your legal custody before you adopted him or her, you should also be prepared to present custody documentation. Now, a reminder that this second group contains documents that you have to provide only for those who are concerned. Next in this group is police certificate. You will have to provide police certificates for all applicants in your case who are 16 years old and above. So for persons in your case who are below 16 years old, generally you do not have to provide police certificates for them, although there is an exception which we will consider along with other aspects of police certificates in another video because of time. Now to our final two documents in this group. The first concerns translations. In case any of the documents you have to present at the time of a diversity visa interview is not in English and it's not in the official language of the country where you will be interviewed, then you have to get certified translations of that document or those documents and present them along with the originals at the time of your diversity visa interview. And then finally, in case there are documents that you were not in the position to acquire, you have to present a valid statement, preferably from a relevant authority, explaining why you were not able to receive that document or those documents. So that was our second group, containing documents that you have to provide for only those that are concerned. Now to our next group. And in this third group, we have documents that concern your case. The first document in that group is your interview notification letter. When you are scheduled for interview, your result, your diversity visa result, changes into your interview notification letter. So it is that letter that specifies the details of your diversity visa interview. You have to print out that letter and bring it as part of required documents to your diversity visa interview. Now, the other documents in this group are documents that may or may not be requested at your interview. But as we said in a past video, best practice is to be fully prepared with all the necessary documents in case you are asked to present them. The first of those documents is your original diversity visa entry submission confirmation page. That is the confirmation page that you received on the day you entered the diversity visa lottery. It is that same confirmation page that you used to check your diversity visa result. So at times that confirmation page is requested at diversity visa interviews. So it is important to have it ready in case you are asked to present it. Next is evidence of required education or work experience. You are already aware that in order to enter the diversity visa program, you have to achieve a certain level of education or work experience. So you will have to attend your diversity visa interview with evidence to that effect in case you are asked to present it. Then there is also the proof that you will not become a public charge upon arriving in the United States, as we saw in a recent video. You have to attend your interview with proof that you and members of your family will not become public charge upon your arrival in the United States. Now, these documents that I just listed, the three last documents, are documents that may or may not be requested at your diversity visa interview. It all depends on the totality of circumstances of the applicant. Now, let me just clarify that when we say totality of circumstances of the applicant may be a single individual. It may also be an entire case, and in some cases, it extends to the nationals of a whole country. All right, nationals of certain countries benefit from some consideration because the totality of circumstances of those nationals have proven that they are not likely to become public charge when they arrive in the United States. And so when such nationals attend diversity visa interviews, they may not be required to present proof that they are not likely to become public charge. But at the embassy that is located in that country, in case nationals of another country that do not benefit from such consideration attend their interviews there, they may be requested to provide proof that they will not become public charge. So it is not a question of embassy, as I said earlier. It is a question of applicant, which could be the entire case, and in some cases extend to nationals of a whole country. All right, so that was our third group containing documents that concern your case. Now to the fourth and final group. The documents in this fourth group are additional documents that may or may not exist. So to know whether these documents exist or not, you have to access the official website of the embassy where you will be interviewed. If there is a list of documents in addition to the ones that we have seen, then you have to provide them at the time of your diversity visa interview. Now, if no additional documents are specified on the website, then it means that this final group does not concern you, and you can only concentrate on the three previous groups that we saw. Now, a couple of things before we conclude. The first has to do with photocopies. Photocopies are required for most documents. So make a photocopy of each of the required documents that apply to your case and take them along with you. Next, you will have to provide 2 identical passport-sized photos for each person in your case. And those photos have to respect the requirements for immigration photos. And finally, a tip from what I do when I'm preparing documents for diversity visa interviews. Place the documents of each person in your case in a separate envelope or file and include their name on it. Now that helps in sorting out the documents when you arrive at the embassy. So this has been a walkthrough of what I consider as an exhaustive list of the documents that concern diversity visa interviews, and that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching it, and if you are aware of others who are in need of the information we share in these discussions, then share the videos with them. And if you have not yet turned on notification, do so that whenever these videos are published, you will be informed. And I will see you, God willing, in the next video. Goodbye.